Hello and welcome back to AdaPulse, the community-funded news channel keeping you up to date with everything Cardano. And because we are community-funded, there is no coin shilling, there is no pay promotion, we don't even discuss token price. We are just here to disseminate information. On this episode of Exploring Cardano, we talk to Miguel and Utsavs, part of the team behind Cardano Spot. Cardano Spot is an all-in-one social media platform built for Cardano. I hope you enjoy. So, do you want to give a quick introduction, each of you, to who you are and what sort of role you play within the project?
Sure, I'll start. So my name is Miguel. I'm the community manager at Cardano Spot, and I'm with my colleague Utsav, and he is the content creator. So the magic you see on Twitter, it's all him.
And it's of you. You want to give a quick introduction to yourself?
I think he froze.
Yeah. So, hi, I'm Utsav, and as Miguel introduced, I'm the content creator, and I also look at the social media side for Cardano Spot. And for Cardano Spot, it's a social network. So, introducing the project.
Great. So, can you tell us a bit about the overall vision and mission for Spot?
So the overall mission for Cardano Spot is it's designed for the seamless discovery and navigation of the Cardano ecosystem, empowered by community engagement and curation of the content. And our mission is to establish the most comprehensive and up-to-date Cardano ecosystem information, and create a portal for all users globally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I've been playing around with the beta, and I can see that there's been quite a few articles published. After sort of like what kind of social media site is Spot aiming to look after? I can see elements of sort of like Reddit, but also like an article publishing site like Substack or Medium. Where do you aim to sort of end up?
It's pretty much we're taking the best out of all platforms and also considering the cons of each platform for each project. So we also want to have a platform that becomes like a central navigation tool for anyone looking into the Cardano ecosystem. So let's say with these articles, we can redirect it back to a project's website so that if let's say someone's looking to build with a certain vertical, let's say for Empower, someone's looking at real estate, we can create articles with them and it redirects back to their website. So we're still aggregating the traffic back to each project.
Mm-hmm. And so, what's the plan to bring on creators to the platform? Currently, the sort of the most active space for Cardano is on Twitter, as with a lot of other crypto projects. So, how will Cardano Spot sort of differ from Twitter and then pull users to it?
Yeah. So, for Cardano Spot, there are a lot of unique requirements for Cardano itself, or any social blockchain project, right? There are different elements to it, like you could have CIP discussion, or you could have something like a discussion on Twitter, Reddit. All these different mediums, they're not sufficient, or they're not built for crypto especially, right? So what we aim to do is bring all those elements together in one place and tailor it to unique requirements for the community. So you could have your special, let's say, AdaPulse community where you can discuss with your members like what is happening, and you can also at the same time learn different things. You can have a article section. We can also have a different events page where you can track all of the different events that are happening. Sorry, are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can have a different events page or a market section page. So it's an all-in-one platform. If you want to onboard a new user, you send the user there. They can learn. They can also interact with the community. And if it's a existing like a crypto native person, they can do all sort of different activities. Like if someone wants to learn about like how to start developing on Cardano, and um, follow the most influential people in that like developer community. So you get that easy access, and you can have an algorithm which tailors especially to our requirements rather than just Twitter algorithm where you can everything is lost, right? So that's a broader
Yeah.
understanding.
And through what sort of mediums of sort of content do you see Cardano Spot sort of really focusing around and excelling? So we have articles, video, short form, the sort of the Twitter sort of element of it, or longer sort of mid-sized blog posts. What is Cardano Spot sort of optimizing for, or is it trying to aggregate sort of all different types of video content?
So it is all different type of contents as of now, at least, right? And more towards what we are focusing on is different personas are present on a social media. It could be a developer community, it could be a trader community. So based on the communities, the content would change. Like someone would prefer videos, someone would prefer articles. So it's still in an experimentation phase, but I think major focus would be on videos and longer form articles. And in future, another goal for us is more of a research oriented analysis. Something like if you see Delphi reports or Masari reports, those kind of reports for institutionals, like institutions, or it could be for projects. So that is another thing that we are exploring. Hope that answers it.
So you kind of have two sides. You have sort of the community based content, but Cardano Spot will also be producing the content based on from other content creators that are being paid.
Yeah. So you can think of it as a bootstrapping mechanism that we are starting with the majority of content as of now. But once we get the content creators onboarded, then we can step back and we can do other things like which would be for public goods or for institutions or for projects. Those kind of work that we can do, and the more of like a Twitter sense that we have, Twitter element that is there on the community feed, that can be all driven by the community itself. Yeah.
Sure, great. And is there a plan to monetize or help monetize for content creators that are putting a lot of their time and effort into research articles or aggregating data or doing analytics, whether that be through on-chain tipping or whether there is some sort of fund which will allow content creators to put more of their time and effort into the site?
Yeah. So as of now, at least, we are not monetizing the platform. We're still looking into figuring out a revenue mechanism, and then we can funnel it for the creators. But we definitely have a reward mechanism, and I think Miguel can talk about it.
So just to ride on what Utsav mentioned, so we are still exploring like different suitable ways to provide value and support to the Cardano ecosystem, community, and contributors on the platform. So right now, what we're focused on is pretty much getting the right functions and features first on the platform, and then while we're studying like the revenue mechanism to reward certain posts or content, because we will have a sentiment analysis type of feature also, which we
Mm-hmm.
can discuss further once uh, before it gets released. So everything is still in review and in development.
Great. What are some of the future features that users can look forward to?
So upcoming features is, so right now what we know of is the events page. So we would like projects, events organizers, Cardano meetups, spaces, podcasts, webinars, to really enter the platform once our open beta is launched or is live, because we will be opening the platform. Is that next week or in 2 weeks, Utsav?
Nearly 2 weeks.
Yeah. Once we open the platform, we will have an event section. But before we open the platform to the open beta access, we will be collecting some information to pre-fill the calendar or the page where certain events within the community and also pretty much the blockchain space, and with the presence of Cardano, we would like to compile all these events together.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Great. So I think with a lot of social media platforms, especially recently in the news with Twitter, with shadow banning and a lot of aspects of sort of putting down people's voices and freedom of speech. What are your sort of ways of screening content? Will it be sort of more of a free for all where people can post their content, can post articles, and they're not screened, or will there be some sort of screening post process for different mediums of content?
So,
So
regarding,
I'll
yeah, go
start.
ahead.
For the community feed, basically pretty much no hate speech. Do not degrade other users on the platform, and pretty much as long as the lines of respect to the dignity of a human is there, there's not much other rules on the platform.
Hmm.
So free speech is there. As long as you don't step on anyone's toes, you don't step on views, you don't step on religion, you don't step on anything. We want to keep this space, pretty much ev- everyone's here to build on Cardano. So let's keep it a positive vibe and energy on the platform.
Yeah, I'd agree to that. And what I would say is that, again, in censorship of any of kind, right now the platform is still very in early stage. But with time, users can self-report, like different users can report a particular piece of content, and once that threshold is crossed, a post can be taken down. So there is still some element of censorship because hate speech is a bigger problem than free speech. Um, so there is a lot of negative
Hmm.
comments. There's negative comments as if it's about someone's color or religion or those kind of things. So we want to avoid those things. But other than that, everything's fine.
Sure. Um, so this platform is mainly for the Cardano ecosystem. Are there any future plans to sort of broaden it to other ecosystems like Ergo?
Yes, that's in the plan, but for now we're building it for the Cardano ecosystem. So we can pretty much give a granular view to, let's say, the Web2 space who wants to learn about the Cardano ecosystem. They would see how the community interacts with each other, what projects are building, what news is out there. Because like one of our main goals is to fight the misinformation about Cardano. So to fight misinformation, we need to band together with the community to provide pretty much accurate information about Cardano. We want to show, like, if you see on Twitter, on Discord, you'll never see like the usual when Lambo, are we gonna flip this? Are we gonna flip that conversation? It's let's build and how can we grow together? That's also something I've learned and gotten feedback from other projects from other chains, that like why is the community on Cardano quiet in the social media space. But once you enter the private rooms and everything, everyone's there. Let's build, let's grow together. How can we help you? And then if you look at the space also, like with Gimbal Labs, Mesh Desk, they're they're willing to help everyone. They want to accommodate everyone, but then you know how it is. They don't have enough time to help everyone across the world. So we would like more people like Meshdesk, Gimbal Labs, the Meter Run to enter Cardano Spot, showcase their tool sets, and pretty much promote the Let's Build Together vibe on the platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. It's again one of the reasons why I'm drawn to Cardano as well. Can you discuss any partnerships or collaborations that you, along with Emergo, have gone through with other companies and organizations in the Cardano ecosystem to bring Sprott?
So when it comes to collaborations, we are also in communication with the other founding entities, and we are also in the process of building more sustainable relationships with projects and pretty much other organizations that are not yet on Cardano. So these are all in the pipeline. We would we would be disclosing all these partnerships down the road on the platform. There will be news articles. We will be hosting Twitter Spaces. We can have even live streams that you can guest in. And pretty much we are exploring all avenues, let's say um, platforms like AdaPulse. We would like to see how we can collaborate. And then maybe we can have like one big event with other mediums like AdaPulse so that it's broadcasted across multiple platforms, not just one.
Yeah. And there are approximately, I think, around 40 projects we are in conversation with. Some of them have already partnered with us, some are in the pipeline. And even if you can go to our project library on Cardano Spot, you'll find a good bit of those projects there. So, yeah, that's the plan for now. And it will grow with time because while we focus on the community, it's also essential to focus on the projects. So, that project library section that we are making, it's just very early right now for that. But what we are trying to do is give them the whole space where we can find everything about a project. It could be related to an analysis of the project, or it could be related to current information about the project, events, etc., etc. So for that reason, we need a lot of project partnerships as well, and some of them have been kind of announced, and some are still in the works. So yeah, you'll see a lot more of that now.
Sounds interesting. And we'll go to this sort of question. What is the most interesting thing that you find going on in the Cardano ecosystem right now? I'll ask Miguel first.
Um, there's a lot of interesting things happening right now because I've entered so many communities. So if you find social impact and interest, there's Cardano for Climate. They have weekly town halls where they talk about like how Cardano can change the world from climate to social impact to equality to women's rights to everything. There's that specific group. And then there are the Catalyst town halls. You would not see any heart. Pretty much, I see them as the heart and veins of the Cardano ecosystem because, like, they have been promoting the ecosystem, and pretty much they're not getting the right attention and spotlight that they need. And then there are also a lot of spaces like you would see people talking about Cardano for the first 5-10 minutes, then it switches on to mental health, spirituality, music, um, so many other topics. Like there's really a lot of interesting things going on. That's why on our events page, I'll try to get all those events up so that the ecosystem, the community knows what's going on in small pockets of Twitter or small pockets of the internet that relate to the Cardano ecosystem. So there's really a lot going on that's interesting, and they're not really getting the spotlight they need because they're not really that popular in terms of engagement when it comes to the Twitter space. But then when it comes to their own pocket communities, you're gonna get mind blown. Uh, so there's a lot of them happening that really need to be brought up into the light, and that's what Cardano Spot wants to do: provide a voice to the voiceless, and to provide exposure to those who really need it and deserve the
Great.
spotlight.
Thanks. And Utsas?
Yeah. So for me, I think I'm much more interested in the NFT space. So I feel there is a lot of focus on DeFi or RealFi and all those things. But I think NFTs are slightly not as much focused in Cardano, even though they are the primary use case as of now. So I want to see much more of NFT exploration. Particularly, I'm interested in new form of NFTs that are coming out. That there are like open editions that you can. There's an infinite supply. If you see this Milkomeda based game, Paima Studios, they had this concept. So anybody can get into an NFT and just get onboarded. And I think that's something that will get a million or billion users much easier than those DeFi flywheels. So I am pretty much excited to see that.
Let me
Exactly.
just pause, stop the recording there. DeFi is really for people who are already inside the Cardano community, and we really need to focus on sort of bridging that gap between the real world and Cardano and onboarding
Yeah.
users. Great, thanks guys for talking to me. I think that it's a really exciting future for Cardano and also for the community, and I think it's definitely something that we that we really need, a sort of an aggregator that pulls everything together in one place. I know myself as a sort of writing articles, you're sort of all over on different websites trying to get information, and it's also really difficult to find the events that are going on, as you mentioned, Miguel. Like crypto Twitter is pretty much the only place that events are like put on. There's no sort of calendar, so having a centralized calendar would be really, really great.